Hey everybody, let's jump into the site selection analysis that we just did for Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Let's just jump right into this bad boy. All right, so here we've got our interactive map. First step is where's all their existing locations? Because this is going to be the thing that we're going to learn from. So here we've got on a map of all of their existing locations. You can see that they've got more than one of their sites over here in Nashville. You've got them spaced around right here. It looks like you got one inside the airport, but this is their existing portfolio. Now, what can we do to figure out what is their magic formula for success? Well, part of it is we're going to download all the cell phone data for each one of these locations and figure out why some are more visited than others. Now, when we ran that cell phone data and then tracked it back to the neighborhoods that are visiting that site, we come up with this pretty cool list. Here is the Experian credit card data and the mosaic profiles that every single household in the United States is broken down into. You can see 10% of the visiting population for a Hattie B's chicken across their existing sites is a D18, you know. Then you go on down the line and you can see as we go from the top down to the bottom, we've got 52% accompanying, like, so 52% of their visitors fall into these socioeconomic buckets. So now what we need to do is, hey, look, I've got a good idea of who their average customer is. Well, now let's go into a city and an intersection and say, hey, for every D18 home I find, you're roughly going to get 10 points. For every O54 home I find, you're going to get 8 points. Now let's look at what that formula is applied throughout the United States. So here we've got their existing sites. I'm going to go to our analysis layer, and then I'm going to show the areas of opportunity. So if we just turn on that simple layer, we're going to start figuring out where are their core customers at throughout the United States in certain markets. So let's just zoom into San Antonio. Once we're in San Antonio, we can see where those areas of opportunity are. All right, so in San Antonio, there is a surefire area within this market where they can find their existing customers in the highest concentration. Looks like they're going to be going somewhere in this zone right here. And if we just start zooming in, we're going to get a lot more information about a potential Hattie B site if they ever do decide to go to San Antonio. This is where your existing customer is in this city, and you are not there. So don't go to the south. Don't go anywhere down here. Your customers are right smack here if you want to stay with that strategy. So here we can go throughout every single city in the United States. What happens if they wanted to go, let's say, to Houston, because they don't got a site there yet? Where would be those areas or those pockets where they can find their existing customer? Well, here's that answer. Now, what I want to do is look at the cell phone data that was used to find those areas of interest. So here's Austin. They've got an existing site. Here's where their most typical customers are. But now let's see where their existing customers are. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the areas of opportunity. And now we can start seeing where their existing customers are coming from in the highest concentration. So most of their existing customers at their Austin site are immediately around their existing site. Now let's look at the breakdown in a more complex market where we've got Nashville. All right, Nashville is their existing market with the highest concentration of their existing spots. So it looks like this is the areas where most of their customers are coming from. Not a whole lot of action going on in this area. I'm going to zoom in and keep breaking this apart. Looks like they're getting pockets around their existing site. This one over here to the west, just based on the customer proximity and just not a lot of heat showing up, this might be one of their least performing. I'm just guessing with the limited data that we've got so far. This one over here has so much activity going on around it. Now, let's just see where those areas of opportunity are. So here you could see around these two sites and up here to the north, over here to the west, it doesn't look like their average customer that is going to their existing sites is around this area. So all of this is really cool. One of the things that we always like doing in a site selection analysis is looking at the existing sites, figuring out who their customers are, applying that to all the other cities, and then we can throw on their largest competitor and see what's going on with them. So here we've got Dave's Hot Chicken on. And the bigger the dot and the darker the circle is where you have their best performing site. So it looks like Dave's Hot Chicken. Syracuse is one of their locations that absolutely crushes it in terms of just visitor counts. Now let's throw on the areas of opportunity for Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Let's see. So around their site, Hattie B's, if they were to go to Syracuse and if they wanted to find their existing customers, they'd probably go down here to the south and get them in the highest concentration. But then again, this Dave's Hot Chicken up here to the north is doing pretty good in terms of visitors relative to their existing sites. So it would be cool to do this area of opportunity heat map on Dave's Hot Chicken to see their type of customer and if we can change Hattie B's hot chicken strategy. Let us know if you have any questions over this analysis.